read about you that you were an Indian Army officer and then you turned into an educationist and social entrepreneur as yourself. So, what was the thing that inspired you to turn from an army field to a field of education?
Very good afternoon from Malaysia and good morning as per India timings. Coming to your question, Gurpreet, inspiration was always there in blood. But actually what brought me from army to education is there are two things. One is being part of Indian Army. I was part of Army Educational Corps, where besides all the responsibilities, when you get trained as a soldier, you're supposed to do, as an officer, you're supposed to do. Besides that, education was always part and parcel of my responsibilities. Actually, what happens is in army, where you are posted, your role and responsibility changes according to that. Like when I was posted to Indian Military Academy, I was training officer cadets who pass out to be officers. And then, of course, you do a lot of other responsibilities. I was fortunate enough to be there as staff officer to the commandant IMA number of times, who's a lieutenant general, and it's a very, very high profile post. Besides that, you are part of other adventure activities. Why I'm telling you is I'm just connecting to your question from army to being an educationist. So then in next posting, I was education officer of a brigade. Now, all these appointments and postings go side by side to your role as a person who's wearing uniform. So there is no compromise, no second thought on those responsibilities, but I'm just connecting it to education. Being an education officer, over and above the roles of your being an officer in Indian Army, I had army schools, I had all center schools, and then there is a third category of school called regimental schools under me for administrative purposes, where I was supposed to support them on administrative needs as well as their nurturing needs. And then besides these schools, the promotion cadres and courses for all the ranks posted over there, the required and the customary cadres were also coming in my area of responsibility. So this is the second requirement. And then going from there, again, my third posting was absolutely core to education. That is Rashtriya Indian Military College, Dehradun, which is renamed after independence. It was Royal Indian Military College, and then it was converted to Rashtriya Indian Military College, where students trained to be nurtured to join, depending upon whether they clear SSB or not, to NDA. And there also I was a trainer and administrator. So then dual responsibility as far as educationist was there. So it was trickling down in my blood from there as well. And then subsequently from there, I went to Kashmir, which was a total operational requirement as far as the posting was concerned. I was at multiple places, which was starting from Srinagar to Baramulla to Anantnag, lot of places moved because I was under a mobile unit. And there also, besides all the operational roles and responsibilities, or we call GSO3, General Staff Officer Grade 3, that is how a captain is, intelligence and education. So besides that, there also we adopted a school, a local for helping the local population, for Kashmiri people who were not having access to school. I'm talking about a very, very remote location in Kashmir where this school was adopted, and we were taking care of young little children. It was purely on social welfare basis, but by the organization. So the connect with education was there as well, despite the thick operational responsibilities and roles. After that, again, my requirement of responsibility, I was posted out from there, and I was in Punjab, where Op Parakram, that is a very, very important Operation Parakram, started, where a lot of operational role was there. But there as well, I had, besides these promotional cadres and promotional courses for the ranks, other ranks, and even JCOs, junior commissioned officers. We had schools with us which were for administrative purposes with me. So I was associated with education there as well. And from there, it was, as far as the army is concerned, I completed my 10 years by then. And the connect in education brought me to do some social work, in the sense, wherever my husband was posted, he's also a uniform personnel. Wherever he was posted, I helped that formation raising schools. So I nurtured one school there. Then I nurtured one school in remote of village, which was developing in Punjab, and which was developing, and in a very, very nascent stage it was. So here the role of education started strengthening, because from a soldier, from a uniform person with a thought process and back of mind being an officer, I was into thick of education now. But again, till then, it was not my career as of now. I was just supporting and nurturing educational organizations. And simultaneously, I thought, when I'm in education, so why not to polish my skills as well? So I appeared for PhD, and I got selected on scholarship. And then my husband was also, because my husband was posted in Shillong that time, so I joined him. And there also I was associated with the army school, where more of convergence happened, and they invited me to head a school. And I was little apprehensive that when I was taking care of so many schools with me, being part of one school, somehow I thought it will not be right. But then the bond was so strong with the people over there, that I couldn't say no. And that's how I became an educationist in a direct role. And I started heading one of the army schools there. And simultaneously, I was doing my PhD. And it was a central university from Nehu, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. Really demanding. I did a lot of research, and then I was also invited through my faculty in Nehu, recommended me to be part of NERI. NERI is Eastern Regional Institute of Education, which is part of NCRT. And there, I really enjoyed doing a lot of work. I was I was invited to review syllabus for Nagaland board. I was also invited to train their educationists. And then the thick of this role, become more strengthened. I started presenting papers here and there at national and international seminars, and I became a speaker. I became a kind of social entrepreneur as far as education is concerned, because I thought, why not to give this to the society, and especially in Meghalaya, where I was posted, where my husband was there, and I was doing my PhD and all. And through my university, we went for Sarva Siksha Abhiyan research, some other research, and I realized people need. So from there, I was associated with an organization for social work, where I started delivering lectures on education, nurturing, career counseling, motivation to Navodaya Vidyalayas, to many other schools, KVs. And that is how my journey being an educationist formally started, where I picked up one of the school, and then I call it real nurturing at that place. And then I moved with my husband to Indore, and then I became part of one charitable school for a while, and then this chain of school, which is CBSE and IGCSE curricula are there. And now I am deep and thick. I breathe education, I eat education, I speak education, and it has become part of my life. So Gurpreet, that's how my journey to being an educationist started. And being an officer from forces, I nurtured it with discipline, I nurtured it with dedication, and I nurtured it with experience. Simultaneously, I was always open to education for myself, for polishing my skills. Because after leaving army, as I said, I did PhD. After that, I realized, because I was part of the corporate body, I realized I should do MBA. I did my MBA, and then I realized for regulations, discipline, and other things, one has to be knowing law as well. So I graduated in law as well, and there I am as educationist in front of you. Now I'm part of many organizations, nurturing everybody. And it is not that you give. When you share education, you take it also. So it is a mutual learning. Wherever I go, I share my knowledge and I get enriched. And that is how I am into education now.
Yeah. Your story is really inspiring for us, because it's very well said that if we want to break a house, then the base should be really strong. And I think that army did that to you. It nurtured you in a way where you cultured a sense of discipline within yourself, and then you became an educationist as yourself. So I think that it's a very difficult task to transition from a job like an army officer to a solo educationist as a principal in a school. So could you please highlight upon that transition, like the way you transitioned into that?
You have asked the question which I have lived, because army is an organization, there is no word called no. You say and the orders are executed, and the orders are not questioned also. Orders are understood. Whereas in civil street, whether it is education or any other organization, a civil organization we call army and civil, everybody is there to question whether student. So you got to establish in a different way. Another thing is your expectation and your level of discipline vis-a-vis what you see. There is a huge gap. So how one has to manage is that the other person should adapt and adopt according to you, and simultaneously, invisibly, you also adapt and adopt according to them. So this transition, Gurpreet, was like that only, that simultaneously when I was nurturing them to be disciplined, as well as educationist, as well as sharing education, as well as facilitating education, because there was group of people, teachers, vice principals, coordinators who were with me, who were nurturing students, and in turn, even to a great extent, nurturing parents also in the field of education and in social arena. So there, how I did was, I took all the best as far as the responsibilities are concerned from armed forces, and as far as the rights are concerned, I gave rights to other people, to people who were in front of me, so that they rightfully stand and understand the questions and the concerns and strike a deal, whereas I am there responsibly yours. And that is how I handle transition, because handling this transition, I'm telling you, it is not easy for anybody. Because when you live a life where you are a gazetted officer, you are an officer with armed forces, the life is entirely different. You are entirely on a different pedestal. But all of a sudden, it is like from an administrator to role of an executor. So with that, I had to shed certain layers from me, and then I had to come down to their level to talk to them, and then nurture myself also, because every step is a learning. And I adapted and I made them adapt. I adopted and I made them adopt. And that is how I made this transition as smooth as possible. Because why I'm saying as smooth as possible, because currently when I am an educationist and I stand in an educational platform, I stand as an educationist rich with an experience of being an army officer, which makes it should not be too much I and me, but honestly, I'm telling you, it makes me different. It makes me feel different. It makes me do different. It makes me contribute different. I am open. I am always welcoming, because as a soldier, there is nothing called no. So I welcome responsibilities. First, I welcome responsibility, and then I see how to do it. And similar things I try nurturing, and I'm doing it. And to a great extent, it is a journey, step by step journey. To a great extent, I see a lot of success and transformation in people, including me.
Yeah, I think there's no age to transformation and learning, and you have proved that in a very efficient way.